to make a new army instead. The Hmong were farmers and herders scattered across remote villages. They had no standing army, so when the CIA needed manpower, they recruited whoever was available. 14-year-olds were handed rifles. 12-year-olds became scouts and messengers. In some units, the average age of a combatant was 15. This was a calculated decision, because for the CIA, a soldier is a soldier, irrespective of their age. And if those soldiers were children, the math still worked, at least on paper. But this is only the surface area that I have covered. There is a lot coming up. It was the mid-1960s. The CIA started a large operation inside Langley named the Secret War. This was not a metaphor, because from outside, according to the US, they had no war presence in Laos. Officially, they stated that the Geneva Accords were being honored. In reality, the CIA was running one of the largest covert military operations in American history. There were many layers to this operation. The way it was planned and executed was terrifying and brilliant at the same time. Okay, now pay attention, because now I will tell you what was the next phase of the CIA's master plan. So far, we have learned that the secret army was set. They had manpower, funding, artilleries, everything. But how did they get those supplies? As America was out of the war, it wouldn't be invisible from the world if they took huge military planes or trucks to bring supplies to the Hmong. This is when Air America comes into the game. Air America was a civilian airline, but it was being used to operate this mission. Cargo drops, medical evacuations, intelligence runs, etc. American pilots logged thousands of hours over Laotian airspace, but their personnel files listed them as contractors or advisors. American case officers trained and directed Hmong fighters on the ground, but they were never acknowledged in any official capacity. This was a brilliant plan. It worked also, but the Hmong people had no idea that this was a curse in disguise of a blessing, because when the war started, slowly every single day, the Hmongs were dying. This is when the bombing was started in Laos. Now, I have already made 2 videos on this topic in detail, so you can watch that as well. Now, there might be a question that comes to your mind. If America recruited the Hmong army, then why did they start killing them? Well, the answer might shock you, but it was just by accident. I'm not saying. This was according to the CIA, because Hmongs were never their target. They were just in their way. Their targets were communist supply lines, Patha positions, and anything moving along the Ho Chi Minh Trail. But there were millions of bombs dropped throughout the country till the Vietnam War ended, and many Hmong villages were in the way of their bombing campaign. So those villages also got destroyed, along with Laos, Vietnam, and Cambodia. Hmong farmland was cratered, and hundreds of thousands of munitions failed to detonate, which killed even more people. But the Hmong soldiers who were fighting, either they had no idea or had no choice, so they continued fighting. They ambushed convoys, they called in airstrikes, they rescued downed American pilots, over 400 of them by some estimates. They held territory that would have required tens of thousands of US troops to secure, and they died at a rate that defied comprehension, because as I said